Tonight! Fast Pass reservations are being deleted if you cancel your resort reservation, but also just if you open the app. Took him a second. Beaches and Cream will be closing for August for a 3-month refurbishment. In unrelated news, I'd like to apologize to my local Home Depot for the ice cream I'll be bringing into their kitchen sink department. The Patriots won the Super Bowl, ensuring Nick will have the will to live another 365 days. Yeah. You've seen WW News Today. Now it's time for WW News Tonight.
Live from the WDWNT studio in Orlando, Florida, it's WDW News Tonight with Tom Corliss and Nicholas Cicero. I'm Michelle Wargo. Now, here's your host, Tom Corliss.
Yeah, fake applause, woo! Look, we moved everything. Give me that wide, give him the wide shot. You gotta see where we moved everything. Look, we're all different now. We spared no expense. Welcome to News Tonight, everybody. Nick, Michelle, thank you. Cameron, the boy, thank you. I'm Tom Corliss, you're not. And well,
you deserve that background.
I love it.
That's where you should be.
This is my
makes a lot of sense.
Oh, what's that thing? Now I can't think of the word. What's the thing that Voldemort had?
Horcrux.
This is my Horcrux. Yeah, this is it.
Right.
I butchered that. Speaking of butchering things, and now the news! Brought to you by the Lost Bros. The Patriots, Julian Edelman and Tom Brady were at the Magic Kingdom on Monday to celebrate the Patriots' 6th Super Bowl victory and first legitimate. The pair also stopped at Hollywood Studios to take cropped photos on Slinky Dog Dash where you can't see the tail missing, and to promote Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Yeah, the pair took photos in front of the tunnel wall on Grand Avenue, which that lady who writes for the Diz thought was inside the yet-to-open land. It's a real thing. Yeah, she then went back to copying our stories.
That picture was so good.
What of them as Jedi?
Jedi.
Did you see what happened? Someone tweeted it at WDW Today, and WDW Today didn't know who it was, so they said, "Oh, you and your friend look great."
Wow.
And then Josh responds, "That's Tom Brady." It's really great.
That was so good.
Josh,
Tom never comes to these things. He hasn't been here since like the first Super Bowl.
Oh, really?
So,
that's right. He kept like passing them off. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I ran down there to see him.
Oh, did you go?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
Yeah. I didn't meet him. No. I tried.
As usual, Nick just glanced from afar.
Telescoping lens.
You got your cardboard box?
You ruined it. We didn't even do the joke yet.
I would. If you hadn't brought it up, it wouldn't have been.
You ruined my joke.
I have seen Tom
More
Brady
on that
in the
later.
locker room before. That was good.
What?
What's the actual story to that?
And the Jaguars game. I got press credentials to go see the Jags game. So.
All right.
So you went in.
I actually asked him a question in the
that's
press
fun.
conference afterwards. Yeah, it was good.
Right.
It was good. That's the closest I've ever gotten to him.
Must be.
Yes.
Okay.
I know.
Was he wearing tight jeans?
Yeah. So.
Oh boy. I'm gonna move on. Yeah, of course, Edelman and
He
Brady.
wasn't wearing any pants. No. It's
I'm not right now either. Edelman and Brady, you'll never know. The camera doesn't go that far. Edelman and Brady had their happiness, of course, deflated when they found out they couldn't go inside.
Oh,
Galaxy's Edge.
Yikes.
Speaking of wieners, the foot-long corn dog has arrived at the Magic Kingdom. The foot-long corn dog has arrived at the Magic Kingdom, and with it, 200 comments I had to delete from the site and Facebook. Yeah. The corn dog is available in Liberty Square at Sleepy Hollow Refreshments. It's a fitting place for the snack, since it was Patrick Henry, of course, who said, "Give me a foot-long corn dog or give me Pinocchio's village house." Foot-long corn dog will be available until someone from South America uses it as a selfie stick. In Tomorrowland, the Robo News and GCN phone booth props have been removed for not working. Yeah, apparently payphones and newspapers don't exist in the future. Yeah. The props did get one thing right, though. Disney technology still doesn't work. So,
yeah.
Predicted correctly. At the Magic Kingdom, Kermit the Frog pillows are now being sold in a cart in Liberty Square to coincide with the Muppets Present Great Moments in History. Guests were heard to exclaim, "Finally, some Muppets merchandise." In unrelated news, congratulations to Chris from Orlando at the Stage 1 company store who broke the pencils in the ceiling tile record this week.
Aww.
That I butchered that.
Wow.
Oh boy. It wasn't much to work with to begin with. Distraction from the mug of the week.
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow. Under a sheet going down 435.
I still want to know the story behind that.
I don't know.
How do you find that?
Oh man.
That is insane.
My favorite thing is that someone else got a picture of our photographer getting a picture of the air in the car behind. Oh,
that's great.
It's amazing.
Well, people dispute it. Do you think it really was?
I think it has to be. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's not. I don't know.
Apparently, there's some cast.
There's no real fact check. I can't call Disney and be like, "Hey, what are these things on this truck?" I mean, clearly it's Lightning McQueen and Mater.
Right.
And Art of Animation isn't like just ripping those out every couple months. So,
No. Someone said they were like the characters going to like some big party tonight or something. Did you read that? That's what some of the comments said. Like it was a cast party or something like that.
Oh, maybe.
And it was like a Cars themed party.
Really?
Yeah.
Most cast members don't own a vehicle.
You need to have a living
That's
wage.
not a knock on cast members. It's a knock on what Disney pays them. So let's be fair there. An automated... I'm going to move on. Oh, good. The one he ruined. An automated PhotoPass box has arrived to the Tinkerbell meet and greet in the Magic Kingdom. I guess enough people didn't clap their hands and say, I believe in paying cast members. It all ties together. Bob Chapek at home laughing at that one. He's watching. Hi, Bob. This box, I think I'm joking. This box with cameras is automated to take pictures of guest meeting characters, which is quite different from the cardboard box that Nick hides in to take pictures of people. That would have been so much better.
It's not ruined.
Didn't ruin it.
It's not ruined. It's funny.
It's like Hollywood Studios. Disney has released even... I miss you. Disney has released even more It's a Small World merchandise this week. A lot of new stuff. This is crazy. To coincide with the release, they have even updated the song on the attraction. I believe we have that in a WDWNT exclusive.
Mm-hmm. Right here.
Oh, jeez. Look at all this Small World merchandise. There's so much of it. It's a world of t-shirts, a world of soons, from a ride in boats through some water flumes. All this merch to be bought leaves our budget distraught. It's a huge bill after all. 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 It's a huge, huge bill. Oh man, I think I'm gonna have to get one of those and maybe 3 of those and is 5 of those too much? No, I'll get 5 of those and I'm gonna need another loan. You can buy a toad and a coffee mug. Nostalgia sure is a hell of a drug. There's a blanket of fleece, wrap yourself in world peace. It's a huge bill after all. 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 It's a huge, huge bill. There are Mickey ears and a magic band, all found in shops, nothing second-hand. UNICEF needs to wait. I've spent my tax rebate. It's a huge bill after all. It's a huge bill after all. God bless it. It's a huge bill after all. It's a huge bill after all. It's a huge, huge, huge bill.
Yep.
Oh.
A Disney Parks.
We got some comments in YouTube.
Oh.
Doug says,
man.
"What do you mean my card is maxed out?" That
Mm.
would have been a nice ending to it. I like it.
I'm the clown with the help sign after all that merchandise. Remember that, kids? It was removed. Like all of this, I miss you. A Disney park. A Disney Parks food toy collection was released. We knew they were toys because you can't get that much food at Disney World for $17.99. They also released a line of snack jewelry this week. This again proves that people will buy anything at the parks. Coming soon, broken jewelry. Yeah. It's Stitch's Great Escape themed. So.
Hollywood Studios themed?
Oh. Maintenance report theme. The 2319 cupcake was released as well, as in the 3,219th cupcake to be released so far this year at a Disney theme park. No, it was actually to mark February 3rd, 2019, or 2319, 23919, the name of the human contamination code for Monsters, Inc. Funny enough, 2319 is also the human contamination code at Disney World playgrounds. You knew that. The kids used to go in the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids one.
I loved that.
Yeah. I was told every day they had a cleanup in there.
Ew.
Yeah, kids would go hide in the tunnel and do things, and then they had to clean it up. Yeah. Fun.
It's a good place.
Yeah, magical.
Guests who cancel resort reservations at Walt Disney World will now also have their Fast Pass reservations canceled to prevent abuse of the system. So join us next week when WDW News Tonight comes to you from our new home, Disney's Pop Century Resort. How do you keep getting on Flight of Passage? Disney. He went 105 times. Disney has announced that starting March 6th, the vibrant music of Disney Pixar's Coco will be coming to the Mexico Pavilion at Epcot, courtesy of the Mariachi Cobre. The immensely talented musicians are joined by a pair of folklorico, a traditional Mexican folk dancers, to tell the tale of Miguel Rivera, his love of music, and his journey to find what matters most, vlogging. The dancers perform the music of the film, pulling everyone into the celebration, and Miguel himself appears in the form of a whimsical handcrafted puppet that I believe has seen more of the world than my Aunt Carol at this point.
That's it.
Do we have it?
That's it. Worst joke of the night.
Wow, the
Right
worst
there.
joke of the night is back from Sierra Late. Long may it rest
We
in
found
peace.
it.
Yeah. That was
You're
pretty
gonna
bad.
hide it.
How did you decide that that's the worst joke? We've
No
just
one
started.
laughed. Oh, you could always play it again. There could be a one that tops
Could be
it.
An even worser joke.
Okay.
The worser
The
joke.
worser
Worser
joke of the night.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Never know.
The new Coco-inspired show expands the repertoire of the mariachi band and will also continue enchanting guests with their traditional music, and that'll begin on March 6th at Epcot during the 7-month-long International Flower and Garden Festival.
By the way, Michelle, if you find the worst joke, you reach over here and push the button.
Okay.
If you want.
I hope it's actually a
Right
button.
there. Just push it. I just reach down and push any of them, and it usually works for me.
Oh, there you go.
Just mash the keyboard with your hands.
Yeah, I don't play all of
Some
them.
sound will play, and a lot of times it's the right one.
Okay. Good to
He
know.
hoped every jump would be the one home. The next jump would be everyone. The schedule for the Garden Rocks concert series of this year's Flower and Garden Festival was released. One mainstay, of course, that's coming back is A Starship starring Mickey Thomas. The band is known for numerous hits, including Nothing's Gonna Stop Us Now. Oh, really, said Dementia.
Oh, boy.
Wow.
And there goes half the audience. There they go.
Wow.
Good night, everybody.
Their Small World song was good, but then he made a mean joke. A recent patent suggests that Disney is developing robotic stunt performers to perform acrobatics too dangerous for human performers. Yes, the robots will work at a Disney quick service restaurant. All right. That was good.
That was good.
Yeah.
You may recall that the last stunt a Disney robot pulled was trying to run the Parks and Resorts division, and it didn't go well. More on him later. Disney is currently testing out smart speakers at the Yacht and Beach Club resorts that are tied in with the My Disney Experience app, allowing them to relay wait times, bus schedules, and park hours. And coming soon, Disney will have a speaker that's so smart it knows to not connect to their own app. Disney's... Oh, boy. You have no fast passes. I booked 3. Disney's Riviera Resort is speeding towards its fall 2019 opening, and today we learned a new lounge will be part of the resort. It's called the Voyagers Lounge. I thought that was on OBT. Oh, no. This one has a few extra letters. Yeah. It's not Voyagers. It sounds like it. The lounge celebrates... Someone's going to get it. The lounge celebrates... It's our Davis Love joke of the week. The lounge celebrates...
golfer.
Oh, my God. I'll never get through this. The lounge celebrates Walt Disney's international travels and the books he collected along the way and ripped off for movie ideas. I don't pay you more if you, just decide to
Pity
laugh. Pity laughs will get you nowhere.
It's like
I'm focused on four things.
No one's
at
laughing.
once.
They should do
It takes me a
something.
second. Come on. That was
BB Wolf's. BB Wolf's at Disney Springs has an entirely new menu comprised of 7 wieners.
7?
Yeah, it's Bill McKim's Sausage Fest. Come on down.
I know
You'll-
how he feels.
You'll be glad you did. The Three Little Pigs sampler is now comprised of a Hawaiian island dog, a Texas chili dog, and a New York pastrami dog. At least until Iger sees it, it makes it the Moana, Home on the Range, and Oliver and Company dogs. Why should I worry? I got a hot dog. On Saturday, Disneyland closed early due to heavy rain in the area. Everyone in the park crammed into La Cava del Tequila at Epcot to hide.
What?
That's what happens at Epcot. I'm joking. Of course, everyone stayed home and inside trying to find something to Instagram about. Do I have any walls that are colored? I don't know. Me and the beige wall. Hashtag beige wall.
It'll be the thing.
And
so
people
good.
start coming into your house. At Anaheim's down. This should be a wall. We should make
I
this.
know. Can we make that happen?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Well,
Alright.
yeah.
That and the mug wall.
That's a
When we
different
open the
story.
Tom Corliss Souvenir Mug Museum.
Yeah.
People think we're joking. We literally had that conversation before we went on the air.
It's gonna happen.
At Anaheim's Downtown Disney, interior demolition is beginning on the former ESPN zone. Now where will I be able to drink and watch sports, said the dad in the most expensive day ever shirt. That guy's just always there. Of course, the bar is currently what's being demolished, and when reached for comment, Bluto from Animal House said,
They took the bar! The whole bar!
"At least you had a bar," said Tower of Terror.
Ooh.
On Friday, Disney released a Trader Sam's dress and a shrunken zombie head purse. Don't worry about it being too small. Your wallet will fit after you buy $200 in new souvenir mugs. That was my bill. It's a huge, huge bill. There's one in blue and there's one in black, and they changed the color of that. The face on the bag is modeled. Of course, the face on the shrunken head bag is modeled after Keith Richards as he appeared in Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. I walked all over that joke. 4 new Tiki mugs debuted at Disneyland this week at the Trader Sam's Enchanted Tiki Bar. The Tangaroa Cooler, the Sea Monster's Embrace, the 4th edition Krakatoa Punch, and finally the 4th edition Pete Carney's Liver. Found Buzzy. The Sea Monster's Embrace bowl it's a bowl with a giant squid in the middle. This is the same as the chicken parmesan at Tony's.
It's so good.
This chicken's chewy. What a legs.
Legs.
Giant squid.
Would you like some cheese? Say when.
Cheese it up.
One on each leg, please. Guests at Walt Disney World, the Disneyland Resort, and the cruise line will get a sneak peek of the upcoming live-action Dumbo. It's about an elephant that can fly. Well, usually he can, but the lever is broken thanks to poor maintenance. Add it to the list! Oh boy. This summer at Disney California Adventure, guests will be able to take part in a celebration of The Lion King. The event promises live performances and craft activities, all designed to celebrate the spirit of Africa. This was a logical choice for the park, as just like everything else in it, it has nothing to do with California. If the event seems a little thrown together, that's because it was the original name, a celebration of people who didn't get into Galaxy's Edge. For the first time in its history, Disneyland Paris will play host to an officially sanctioned Pride event. The event will celebrate diversity at Walt Disney Studios Paris, a park where every last thing is themed to a parking lot. No diversity. There, do you want to play it now? That bombed. Do you want to play the...
Yeah.
Well, actually, in the
I think that
Brooke
might
in
have
the
worked.
YouTube chat says you're killing it tonight on the jokes.
You are
Oh,
overall.
that's very kind. Is she also on the payroll? Thank you.
That's
Brooke.
why
It's
we were
very-
so shocked that
very
that joke
kind.
fell flat and we didn't know what to say or
Sure,
do.
I'm sure.
I couldn't move. I was paralyzed.
It's okay, just like Cameron's mug. It's cool. You want to show them your mug?
Changes colors when we put very cold drinks in it.
Yeah. And then if it's hot, it changes. It says it's hot.
Not lukewarm
I
though.
like how
Yeah.
Tom forced you to have ice.
Well, I wanted it to change. I've never actually used it. It's from Tokyo. It's a Toontown mug. And so it changes to match the two counter service cups they give you. So there's a hot drink cup and a cold drink cup.
Oh,
and
and
so
this
it
is what they look like?
transforms. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
it
know that.
transforms into the two different cups. It's really neat.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so when it's hot, it's different?
It says it's hot and it matches their hot drink cup.
You didn't tell me that part. So
Yeah,
I was not
it's
ready
magical.
for that. Good
I'll
stuff.
get you some hot water after.
Yeah, see? That's what we need to do.
We'll be in enough
He
hot
obviously
water
didn't
after
want
the
the
show.
ice.
Heyo.
You forced it on him.
I did, because I wanted to see it change color. D23, speaking of hot water, D23 announced they will hold a special celebration to mark the club's 10th anniversary. Taking place in the Walt Disney Studios lot, guests will be able to meet Disney legends and sample some of Walt's favorite foods, including his famed chili. For fans, it's a dream come true if your dream was to break wind in front of Floyd Norman.
Walt's
At least-
chili is so awful.
At least your wind will match the... You're
Sorry.
destroying my joke.
I did. I'm sorry.
Well, if you break wind, at least it'll match the registration system for every D23 event.
There you go. See, sorry.
They still ruined it.
I did.
I get it.
I can't, because we broke wind. Their registration system's always broken. It made more sense if I went straight
It
into
would
it.
have.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
should
I had the
reverse
commentary
this.
on Walt's chili. It's the worst chili ever.
No, it's not. It's good.
I
At
followed his
Carnation?
recipe exactly.
Oh, you made it. Have you had it at Carnation?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's good at Carnation. We'll go to
They
Carnation.
must not use his recipe.
It's literally called Walt's chili.
I
probably
could
made
call anything.
I mean,
Walt's
it's not
chili.
your
It's
chocolate chili. I mean,
No.
your chocolate chili probably beats it.
They could call it Walt's
Can
chili.
I
It
get-
doesn't mean it's the recipe.
Can I
but
get
they-
back to the D23
Yeah,
event?
whatever.
The night will offer special surprises, but the biggest surprise of all, your spring issue will arrive on time. Surprise. See, Brooke had to say we were doing well, and then from there it was just...
Well, Anthony said he actually laughed so hard at the parking lot
See?
joke. Anthony L.
What was the parking lot? Oh, the Paris.
You don't even remember.
Which one?
I don't listen to
I
this
just
show.
read the teleprompter. I don't.
It's true now. This thing has ruined me.
You're like a
I'm
robot.
a robot now.
Yeah.
The first Pixar Spark short was released
He's
called
making so many jokes about Chapek. He's turning into one of them.
You Have Ruined All of My Jokes Today.
Not all of them.
The first Pixar Spark short was released. It's called Pearl. The short is garnering some negative attention for some dirty jokes and the fact that the main character says, "Kiss my ass."
Ooh.
can't
Said
believe
in
that.
a Pixar short, yeah.
Weird.
Well, here's the IP overlay Jack and Jill have been waiting for at Disney's Animal Kingdom. And that's the news! Michelle, who brings us the news?
Well, Tom, the news is brought to us by the Lost Bros. They make apparel, posters, and home goods for theme park fans of all ages. You can shop their whole site by going to WDWNT.com and clicking their ad. Shop designs like their classic waffle and bacon crossbones, the Drink Around the World Tour collection, their princess jerseys, and park favorites like their Dole Whip pocket tees, the Tomorrowland Drive-In Theater, and the Birds Who Sing Words tour poster. Make the most of tonight's commercial breaks and shop through their extensive collection. The Lost Bros, an official partner of WDW News Tonight.
And a special little word for the Lost Bros. Our first collaboration t-shirt is available again in limited quantities. They've put up a few, and you get them now. Are we showing it?
No.
We
I
should
showed
show
it
it.
during the commercial.
Oh, we'll show it again.
Okay.
They have this cute little Figment shirt, and it sold out in 3 minutes when we first released it. And
I want one.
surprised
Ooh,
you
it's
better hurry
fantastic.
because
It
they
looks
went
great.
fast last time. There's only, he told me, I can't say
Can
the
I
number.
get one for saying their ad every week?
No. No, you cannot. You gotta buy it, just like everybody else. So do hurry if you want that, because I think this is it. They've done another so many. It's not a large number. It's all I can say. And
Well,
so
I'm doing
I
it now.
think they'll be gone by tomorrow at the latest. So you might want to act on that. So coming up on the show, when we come back, we have Around the Hub. We also have WWNT the map game. So call in now if you'd like to get on hold for the map game. That's 8327 WDWNT7. That's 8327 WDWNT7. Why did that say WDW News Today, the radio show?
I don't know. That was weird. Sorry.
Soon to the Disney Plus streaming service. It's Mouse Tank. Mouse Tank is the first ever Disney Parks reality show. Watch as Disney cast members pitch their best ideas for the parks to Disney CEO Bob Iger and Chairman of Parks, Resorts, and Consumer Experience Bob Chapek. First up in the Mouse Tank, a man whose earring is the only thing bigger than his imagination.
Hello, I'm Joe Rohde. I've been an Imagineer for almost 40 years, and I'm asking for $25 million to fix the zebra glen on Kilimanjaro safaris so the zebras can actually live in it, not the scimitar horned oryx that hides by the gate.
Oryx, isn't that, that's a type of toothbrush, right?
The scimitar oryx, or scimitar horned oryx, Oryx dama, as they say scientifically, also known as the Sahara oryx, is a species of oryx once widespread across North Africa, which went extinct in...
I just don't see the value. I'm out.
I was out since he asked for money to be spent on a theme park.
I don't know. This isn't tied to an IP. Some safari truck ride that's maybe themed to Indonesia or something?
It's Africa, and, you're using themed incorrectly. If you had just read my Instagram.
Do you have anything else, Joe?
Well, yes, there is this Yeti that,
Next!
Picture this. Big, moving Yeti.
Next!
Up next, a cast member bringing a revolutionary idea to our hungry mice.
Hello, and your name is?
Hi, I'm Jenny, and I work over at Blizzard Beach. Our rides, even with extensive refurbishments, still have a lot of downtime. I'm asking for $200 million to completely refurbish our beloved water park to bring it up to date, like the volcano one down the street.
What's a Buzzard Beach? Is that, that's a Zootopia thing?
It's a water park you own in Orlando. Attendance is good, but we see a lot of guest complaints about the attractions being down and not having the latest technology, and...
Frozen.
What?
I can see it now. Anna and Elsa in bikinis. Olaf, I'll melt for you patty melts. Oh, and Snowgy cupcakes.
The opportunity for Frozen-themed cupcakes at a water park is something we can't pass up. I just replaced half of WDI with bakers.
So, am I getting my project funded, or...
Oh no, you're fired. We came up with this idea.
For every failure, now and then, someone walks into the mouse tank knowing exactly what the Bobs want.
Hi, I'm Alan. I'm a tour guide, and I think that we could do a lot more to fleece our wealthier guests. I'm pitching a one-day tour that is basically no different than a VIP tour, but instead of $400 an hour, we charge $12,000 for a whole day.
So you're saying we can just repackage what we already do, but charge a lot more money for it?
Exactly.
God, I love this kid.
Sold. We need more cast members like you, Alan.
Can I get paid a living wage?
No, but you're the new head of WDI.
Mouse Tank, coming to Disney Plus. The plus stands for your money.
Welcome back to WDW News Tonight. We are live on WWNtunes.com, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Vukle. I don't know, all kinds of weird
Alibaba.
places. Hulu. Sparkle. All kinds of places. Yeah. So, again, the phone lines are open if you want to play the map game. The phone number is that I'm never going to remember, apparently.
832-7
7.
WDWNT 7.
Yeah, 7.
7.
There you go. If you want to call in,
Then
get
we
on the
got two
line.
contestants on the line.
Oh, good.
Okay, good. Well, we're gonna wait for a couple more, and in the meantime, I believe we have someone with us for a segment. No?
Oh, there he is. Yeah,
We have somebody?
We got him. Hey, yeah. You're there now.
Oh, it's Patrick Hackett.
Hey! I'm well lit and not, been.
Well, we didn't ask if you'd been drinking. I mean.
Heyo.
All right.
He is in fact.
And now he's muted. Okay.
Oh, he's muted? Did he
Oh,
mute
God, I didn't
No,
mute
he's here.
this
He's
time.
here.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, here we go.
Cool.
WWNT is proud to bring to you a WWN2's original segment. This is Around the Hub. Our two hosts are going back and forth in the sport of competitive Disney banter, earning points when the host sees fit and losing them when they say something completely stupid. At the end of the round, someone will get 30 uninterrupted seconds of a meet and greet to talk about whatever topic they would like, with the loser plummeting down into the pit of despair. On tonight's show, we'll be playing One Man's Word. We're going to go through some of the news topics you heard in our lovely monologue, where I expect Tom and Nick to each give me one word about that topic. And of course, you're going to have to explain it. The one word won't suffice. You've met the panel. You know the rules. Now, let's play Around the Hub.
You're going down, Cicero. This ain't your week.
Hey, look.
Just letting everyone know, the score stands right now at Tom 30, Nick 28. So we're going to let Nick go first, get the chance to earn some first.
Yeah, we're going to run all year.
Oh, yeah, the whole year.
Is Michelle not playing this week?
No, we decided to spare Michelle.
Oh, okay. All right. That's more
So what, my 29 points from 2 weeks ago
I'll take
don't
'em.
count?
I'll take them.
I'm not
Give me a
giving
head
you-
start.
Or
You can't
did
just
I have
her
28
points.
or 29? I was 1 point off, and you're like, "Oh, you're such a loser!" And I was down by
I
1
didn't
point.
say that. Oh boy,
You just
Patrick.
have to go in the pit of despair.
What? I
Pit of
didn't hear.
despair.
So-
Oh, pit of despair.
I live there.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Wow. Before this show gets too dark, why don't we move on?
We need one man's word, Nick, for the Coco show that is coming to the Mexico Pavilion. One word and why.
Spanish.
Spanish.
Good one.
And I think that's pretty self-explanatory.
He lost a point for that, right?
This hasn't gained any. All right,
You gotta
Tom, how about
explain.
you? One word for the Coco show. What's that?
Balance.
And why?
Do I explain that now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is good to keep the three caballeros. I think Coco does not work well as an overlay of a slow boat ride. They're not going to spend the money to do a big e-ticket, which I think, like, if you did something with that whole, I don't even remember what they called the World of the Dead, but I mean, it's a beautiful
Dia de
scene.
los Muertos.
That's the holiday. That's not a place.
It's the Day of the Dead.
But, like, that would be beautiful, but they're not going to do that. It would be a simple boat overlay. So I'd rather keep the caballeros, and the music is the strongest thing in Coco, I think. So that, with that band, that band is unparalleled. The Mariachi Cobre, unparalleled. Them playing that music is the proper way to put Coco in Epcot.
Yeah, really well thought out points there, and I agree with you.
I didn't know we get to talk that much.
Spanish.
Okay, now I know how this
You
is
can let
going.
him explain it. I think that's
Yeah.
unfair. Nick didn't get to explain. Do you want to explain?
No, I mean,
Oh.
I don't know where to go.
I'm giving you a chance to get points.
I misunderstood. I thought it was one word, and
He explained it.
I wasn't listening.
Thank you.
Someone said Nick looks nervous.
I am. I'm on. This is.
The chat says Nick's thinking face.
all right.
LOL.
No.
Tom, we're gonna have you go first. I need
Okay.
one man's word for the new dogs over at BB Wolf's.
Creative? I don't know. I've always liked their stuff, and I think they have to try because the Disney Springs food landscape is so hard to break into. There's so much good stuff where I don't know how I would go for lunch and be like, and I like BB Wolf's. I think it's very good, but I don't know how I would make that choice over Blaze and Chicken Guy and Deluxe just in
Oh,
a
I
counter
love
service
Blaze.
perspective. Never mind table service, Boathouse, Morimoto, Homecoming. And the list goes on and on and on. It's hard. BB Wolf's will sadly never be anything but like people walking by like, let's grab something quick. And I think it's a shame because it's good. In a park, it would be a big hit.
Oh, kill in a park. All right, Nick, your word for the new dogs over at BB Wolf's, and of course your explanation.
Tasty. People who know me know there's nothing I like more than a good sausage. And
Oh, Anthony, we miss you so much.
I tried to get the corn dog king to
Where's
call
the corn
in.
dog king when you need him? No, there's sometimes you don't want to sit down. I love the boathouse. Yes, it's hard picking there because it's like Polite Pig or the boathouse.
Oh, yeah, you love Polite Pig,
I love
that's
that
right.
place. Yeah, but sometimes you just want a quick bite to eat. You don't want to go into a restaurant and sit down. And as of now, it's been lacking. I mean, I don't like aristocrapes. There's
But they're not your average crepes. They're the aristocrapes.
the poutine isn't that good. I'm not even crazy. Do you even like the poutine place? I don't like the poutine place.
we
No,
hated it the first
so
day.
I like BB Wolf's. So more variety in their sausages. I'll take that.
All right, some tasty sausages for Nick. Nick, this one's a little more broad. We have the Art Corner pop-up shop coming, and we've seen a lot of pop-up shops coming around Walt Disney World, and I'm sure Disneyland will start to see them too. I need one word for these pop-up shops around the Disney parks and resorts.
They are, nope, that's more words. Enticing.
Oh my god.
Like that.
And thank you very much. No, I like the idea of the pop-up shops because it gives variety to the shopping experience as you travel around Walt Disney World.
It's a very well thought out answer.
Thank you.
Variety. Tom, pop-up shops, what do you think? One man's word.
Vacancies. They have a lot of vacancies that they need to fill at Disney Springs, and this is apparently
negative.
the answer. I don't think it's a bad thing because you don't really want to walk by these shops and see like things just shuttered. Like obviously the Greg McCullough art thing was only there for the holidays and it closed and it was a big empty space again. And so they were like, well, we can't really have that again. Same with the Disney corner where they moved the World of Disney reopened and they moved the Kingdom Hearts thing in. It's good for Disney Springs. It's a shame they can't fill those spaces because Disney Springs hasn't really quite worked as originally intended. But I'm glad they're at least like, it's bad show to have empty spaces. We need to figure these things out.
Yeah, I think you're right. You want to make sure that those spaces are taken. I mean, even the police station being there gives it a more lived-in feel, which I know they're going for.
Yeah, it shouldn't
right,
feel unfinished.
Yes. One man's word for the Flower and Garden Rocks musical lineup.
Or was this me?
Yeah.
Yep, you first, Tom.
Stale. And I know Disney doesn't have to try as hard. Universal does it to pull in big crowds, and they do with like when Pitbull comes, and I almost said the Pitbull, and then I was old and stale. Then the Pitbull came, and then there's no real. Unlike like Food and Wine, at least I can find like 3 or 4 acts where I'm like, oh, I want to go see those. This, and I know they're trying to fill 7 days a week now. Yeah, 7. But it's just, I don't know. There was no one on that list where I was like, I want to go to that. And I don't know. Stale.
Nick, what do you think? One man's word, Flower and Garden Rocks lineup.
Boring. Like Tom says, I mean, there's nothing that draws my interest that I really want to go to there. I think it's probably time to maybe change up the idea and the theme of that kind of concert series. I know you don't want to make it too much like the Food and Wine Festival's lineup, but you also want to entice crowds to go there. I mean, I wouldn't say anything wrong with changing up the type of artist you bring to the Garden Rocks.
Somebody said their word would have been has-beens.
Yeah, that's what they were saying in here too.
That's hyphenated. All right, we heard the OBT joke of the week about the Voyagers Lounge going over to Coronado. What's one man's word about that, Nick?
Eloquent.
Okay.
I feel like Nick's like a kid at a spelling bee, like trying to
Use
waste
it in a
time.
sentence.
Eloquent.
What is the origin?
Can you spell that for me? Use it in a sentence.
R. Go ahead.
I mean, I have to give a big pass on this. I have not read about exactly what's going in there, so I apologize.
Not much to it.
Yeah, I did not read up on that one, so
Oh, it did just break a couple
Like
hours.
be honest, yeah, I'll give you
I'm
a
really
point
sorry.
There you go.
There you go. Thank you.
All right, Tom, what do you think? What's a word for the Voyager's Lounge?
Alcohol.
Right? I almost said that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad it's themed. Because I think the worry was they're going a little plain with some of the resorts, and so I'm glad there is somewhat of a theme. I mean, we don't know what the interior really looks like, but the theme of Walt's European travels and the books he collected along the way is more of a theme than I expected for that resort. So I'm intrigued what the interior will look like, and now as I've gotten older, I think those are the things that most excite me. There's something I can't talk about yet, but I've seen some art for a lounge somewhere. And honestly, like of a lot of the stuff in that particular project, I looked at that lounge and I was like, I'm really excited to sit in that lounge. And I feel like I'm becoming an old man. And I'm like, I just want to sit quietly in a themed lounge, enjoy themed music and a themed drink, and just enjoy the atmosphere. That excites me now.
All right, we're down to our final two questions. Tom, sticking with you. We're going to talk about the food icons merchandise, the jewelry, the plates, all of that crazy stuff that's been going on. What's your one man's word for that?
Japan. This is stuff they've been doing in Japan for ages. So on one hand, I am absolutely really happy that we are getting to that point where they're doing merchandise that's really geared towards returned guests and not so much. And there probably is appeal for new people too. Even if it's your first trip, I mean, I think a Mickey donut or mini donuts still pretty cute. So it's long overdue, and why it always takes us so long to catch up with what everybody else is doing. But it screams Japan, especially scented plush. I mean, it's very Tokyo Disney.
All right, Nick, what's your one-man word for the food icon merchandise?
Fad. It's just there so people don't have to waste their money on food and then throw it away after taking their Instagram photo. Now they can buy this fake toy food, take their photos with it, and then they have something to hold on to after.
I'm on board with this.
That's all it is. It won't last.
Oh, man, that was amazing. All right, Nick, last chance for points. Can you close the gap? Small World merchandise. What's your one man's word for that?
Tiny. It's a...
This week on adjectives.
I think they went the wrong way with this. They should have made like all little miniature souvenirs that were like really, really tiny.
All right.
Yes, tiny versions of everything. A store where everything is just tiny, and then you're walking into it as a regular sized human, and there's all kinds of tiny things around you to buy, and that should be the way to go.
You know, they already have a place where everything's tiny. Have you been to the Food and Wine Festival?
Tiny, tiny, it's a tiny.
They missed the boat on that, as you can say.
I'm going with what did you say?
I said they missed the boat on that idea.
Oh boy. I'm going with charming. I think this is the best line of merchandise that Attraction has ever gotten, and it is long overdue. To me, Small World there are two things I care about with It's a Small World. To me, nostalgia-wise. The Florida attraction, the goodbye signs, number one. And number two is the Mary Blair animals. Those are the only things that I have ever, like, the kids of the world do nothing for me. I'm sorry, children. But that doesn't do anything for me. I like the song. But otherwise, like, it's all about colorful Mary Blair animals and those goodbye signs. And so literally the merchandise line is those two things, and it encapsulated everything I love about It's a Small World. So I had to buy a bunch of that stuff. I love it so much. I even think I don't care about these ear headbands. They never look good to me. I think the Small World one is amazing. The fact that they put the hello on the front and goodbye on the back, and the clock face, they're perfect. It is the best representation that line. And Mansion and Pirates and all the other attractions always get these really well thought out lines. Small World always gets some weird junk like I Conquered shirts, stuff like that, and an ornament here or there. This was the first time they really thought about what Small World is and what people like about it.
That brings to a close our round of Around the Hub, and checking the scoreboard, it is Tom 39, Nick with 32 points.
How'd that even get 32? You were generous.
All those food blog points, you got a ton.
Well, Nick,
there.
the big problem was you didn't score for the whole first 3 quarters.
So Nick will be trying to take down the Atlanta Falcons of Tom when they next meet. The totals for right now is Tom has 69 dudes.
69 dudes.
And Nick has 60. Tom, you get 30 uninterrupted seconds, which it's your show. So I mean, we should probably find a better reward. Get
those anyway.
Get those anyway. But we'll see. Here's your 30 seconds. Go.
Sure. I'm gonna say that Nick being mean to the Small World merchandise hurts me very, very deeply.
I wasn't mean to
unfair.
it. I just said I have a better idea. We make little mini cups and little mini.
I actually really like
t-shirts.
that idea.
What are you gonna do with tiny T-shirts?
What are you not going
Instagram
to do
them?
with them?
They're gonna make tiny walls for you to take pictures, like the shirt on your finger in front of a tiny colored wall.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, that's
Sounds
pretty
good to
smart.
me, actually.
I like that.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I hate this idea.
Way to go, Tom.
Tiny T-shirt.
Thank you, Patrick.
All right.
We'll
see you soon.
See you on the next hub. All right, let's find out how many people we got on the line for the map game.
I think we got 2 on the line right now.
All right, well let's go ahead and take that. A reminder on the phone number. Michelle, you get the phone number?
I had it a second ago.
Oh,
Isn't it?
now you're not ready.
It's 832, I think. is the first.
832-7
WDWNT7.
Yes, please
Is it
call in to
832?
play the map game. We had some really great prizes. All right, let's put the first caller on.
All right.
All right, here we go. The first caller, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Going great. Where are you calling in from, Steve?
New Jersey.
All right, Steve. Have you ever played the map game with us?
No, first-time caller. Glad to have you guys back, by the way.
Oh, thanks so much.
Thanks for calling
Thanks
in,
for calling.
Steve. All right, so let me go over the rules of this map game. We are using a map of 1989 Epcot. That's correct.
Yeah, this is connected with our upcoming event, Stage 89.
Stage
You see
89.
the ad there right on your screen, which is happening this April and May, and you can get all the information at stage89.com.
So, Steve, here are the rules, and for everybody else listening that's playing tonight, you are visiting Epcot in 2019. But many enthusiastic fans yearn for days gone by. So we're going to have you take a trip around a 1989 version of the theme park. Your objective? To rescue 7...
7?
Yeah, 7 crying fanboys and fangirls who are trapped in the past. You'll do this by choosing 3 coordinates. Some coordinates have 1 or multiple fanboys or girls to rescue. Some coordinates are empty, and some coordinates have evil Disney executives trying to change the Epcot we know and love, and they will take away fanboys or girls you have rescued. So your objective is to get 7 or more of the fanboys or girls. You ready to play, Steve?
Yes.
All right. So pick your first coordinate, a letter A through H, and a number 1 through 8.
Let's go A3.
Is that A3?
Yes.
That is -1 fanboy.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
You lost them in the Odyssey mode.
Yeah, but you had none to lose yet, so you're still at 0. There's no negatives here in this game.
Did you uncover the
Yes,
square?
the square is
Oh,
uncovered.
okay.
Cover
I can't
a
see from
square.
here.
All right, so give me another coordinate, A through H, 1 through 8.
D4.
Let's see, D4. Oh, that is
Demon dog.
Yeah, that was another evil Disney executive. You lost 3 fanboys or girls, but you didn't have any other ones to lose. You're still at 0, Steve. You're still at 0. Now, there are a couple instant win prizes on the map, and a couple 7s on the map as well, so you still could win. Give me another coordinate.
Go B7.
7. Is that B or D?
7.
B is in boy.
B is in boy.
B is in boy.
Okay. B7. There are no fanboys or girls there. I am so sorry, Steve. That you rescued no one. You rescued that.
Steve.
I did my best.
This is not your game.
Well, the joke's on you, Steve. This game is actually a message that no one can be saved. So there are no fanboys on the entire map.
Oh,
this is all just a message. No, I'm joking. But Steve, thank you so much for calling. We appreciate it. Please call back and play another game with us.
Will do. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, Jason. We can put on our next caller.
Our next caller is Alyssa.
Hey, good evening, Alyssa.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great. And Alyssa, where are you calling from?
Indiana.
Indiana. All right. Well, you ready to play the map game with us?
Yep.
Do you remember Epcot in 1989?
I was not born yet, so.
Oh, okay.
Me either.
All right. Well, the good thing is you
Young
don't need
kids.
to know your way around Epcot in 1989. You only need to know your letters A through H and your numbers 1 through 8. So that's good. Now, Alyssa, did you hear me? Did you hear the explanation of the game? We're trying to save 7 fanboys or girls?
Yes.
All right, excellent. Pick a coordinate A through H, 1 through 8.
Let's do C1.
C1. You rescued 1 fanboy! I got so excited there. Our voice like... Sorry, I got a toy food piece stuck in my throat.
You should have known at that price. You should.
Oh, all right. Well, very good. You're at 1. Go ahead and pick another coordinate for us.
F2.
F2. Let's see what we got there. F2 is 0 fanboys or girls.
It took a long time to
This
get
is a
there.
rough game.
It was on the other side of the lagoon. It took a while. We had to take a friendship boat. It was a pain.
All right, well, at least you didn't lose anybody. That's good. That's good news. Still plenty of spots could win you a prize here. Give me another coordinate, Alyssa.
A7.
7.
7.
A7. Oh, man.
Yeah, 7.
You lost 2 of them.
Oh, no.
We left him on the friendship boat.
You did. the evil Disney executive reached out of the water and pulled him under the lagoon.
The sea monster's embrace.
All right. Well, that leaves you with 0, Alyssa. You saved no one.
Wow. The message continues.
Oh, man. This is rough, you guys. All right. Well, sorry about that, Alyssa.
Thank you for calling.
At least I don't have to send
thank
out
you,
prizes.
Have a good one.
All right.
Jason, do we have anybody else?
Jason? Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got more people.
Excellent.
We got.
Of course
Doug
we
on
do.
the
It's the
line.
map game. The least creative game everyone wants to play. Map game.
Should have some.
I fought this off for 4 weeks. Who's next?
Whose map is it anyway?
Do we have a
Pink
caller?
Pearl Disney Wishes. I like that.
Yeah, is Doug on the line?
Doug?
Doug.
Yo, hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, Doug, how's it going?
Hey, what's going on, Tom?
Where are you from?
Here you go.
Fall from New Orleans.
Oh, New Orleans, nice. It's a shame you guys weren't in the
Mhm.
Super Bowl.
Still
That's
smart.
unfortunate.
Yeah, still smarting over the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm with you guys.
That was rough.
But let's make things right then. You can win this. I
All right.
promise this won't be fixed. You can do this.
At least you acknowledge this one was free and clear of any
Oh
controversy.
no, they just played horrible. You guys won. No, that was I don't. I don't doubt that. But go ahead.
Whatever. The Rams lost. I'm happy.
Yeah, no, LA doesn't deserve it. I think we all
Wow.
agree with that. No one's actually
Nobody
a Rams
cares,
fan. It's
yeah.
LA. I mean,
Nice.
come on.
All right. I'm
They
fine
don't
with
even
that.
know they have a football team.
Doug, let's go save some fanboys and girls. What do you say?
All right. So I'll start this off a little different. Tom, you may love this one. Let's go with 3H.
H3.
All right. H3 is one fanboy. All right. I swear there's bigger spaces on here. Doug, what's your next coordinate?
Let's go C4.
It's explosive.
C4. It is, and something must have just exploded, and a Disney executive sucked a fanboy into the ground.
Oh, my.
no.
And
Right into that horizon sinkhole.
As the building came crumbling down.
Oh boy.
So that you're at 0. You're at 0, Doug.
He broke even.
All right, we got
One more though.
So next, one more. Let's go with D as in Delta 5.
D5 is 3 fanboys. That brings your total up to 3.
Well, he's in the lead.
Which leads the pack.
Yeah.
Yes. So you know what? I guess we'll give a prize to the leader at the end of the night.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
That
Yeah.
sound
So
good?
Doug, we'll see how
So Doug,
how that holds up.
Right now, 3 holds up. It's the top spot. Well, thank you, Doug.
Cool.
Good
Sounds
job.
good.
At least you brought some people back. No one's brought anybody back yet. So you got that going for you.
Whoop whoop.
All right. Doug, hold on the line until we see if you win.
All right.
All right. Who we got next?
All right, we got Andrew next.
Andrew, is that right?
Hello.
Hey, Andrew, where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Reading.
Well, all I heard was Reading. Reading where? I didn't get
Pennsylvania?
the rest of it.
Did we lose him?
Andrew.
We might have lost him.
Is he driving?
Andrew? All right. We're going to have to go to the next caller. Jason, we got another one?
Let's go to Eric.
Eric.
Hello.
Eric, where are you calling in from?
I am calling in from Chicago, Illinois.
Chicago. You guys finally out of the snow?
Yeah, it was like 55 degrees on Monday.
Oh, nice.
Living.
Very nice. Well, let's see if you can warm up to the map game. Nick, take it away.
I bet he can. So Eric, have you heard the rules to tonight's game?
Yes, I have been listening.
All right, so let's see how many you can save. Give me a letter A through H and a number 1 through 7, or 1 through 8. Excuse me.
All right, let's hit A1.
A1. That's 7 fanboys.
Yeah, 7.
All right.
But you still have to pick 2 more.
All you have to do, Eric, is avoid the evil Disney executives, and you're fine.
Ooh, that's hard. There's a lot of them out there.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, let's go. B3. Did anyone pick B3 yet?
No one picked B3. Oh! You saved another 5.
5?
You saved 5 fanboys and girls.
Oh, Cameron.
Yeah.
Cameron, stop it.
This is more people that have gone all night.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cameron's very excited.
You're at the 12.
Michelle's watching a movie on Netflix.
You were saving so many of these crying fans, Eric.
Was that the Fire Festival
so good.
documentary?
All right.
All right,
Let's
one more.
Hit one more. I'll go right after my first one. Let's go A2.
A2. One more.
One more.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's 13. Doug can hang up now. Eric,
sorry, Doug. Wait till Doug finds out that Eric cheated. Oh, man.
Oh,
All right, we got Andrew back, I think.
Oh, okay.
Andrew, you there
Oh,
now?
Andrew's on. That's right. Andrew?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Hello?
Yep.
All right.
Where are you calling in from?
Reading, Pennsylvania.
Reading, Pennsylvania. That was right, Michelle. You're right.
Yay.
Ooh, that's like half an hour from me.
Great. You
Yeah.
can meet up with Jason. What a prize. We don't even have to let you play.
I could hand deliver his prize and it'll get there faster than Nick will.
Nick, go ahead. Take it away.
So true. Andrew, so we're going to try to save some fanboys and girls. Eric saved 13 there, so that is the number to beat at the moment. But if you save at least 7, you'll get a prize. Andrew, what's your first coordinate? A through H, 1 through 8.
H7.
7.
H7. Let's see what's there. That's an instant win coordinate.
Woo!
Yeah, there was a.
Jason's coming right to your house with a prize
Right now.
There was a vintage Epcot souvenir on the ground there.
Marathon show.
Oh, what was that?
Something about the marathon show.
I wonder if it'll beat my marathon show.
It will.
Uh-oh, Nick.
You're in some hot water now, Nick.
Them is fighting words. Andrew, pick another coordinate.
We'll go with G7.
7.
That is 4 Epcot fanboys and girls. There you go. So you could still reach that magic number of 7. Give me your last coordinate.
G8.
G8. Oh, that's another instant win prize.
What?
Yeah.
So he gets 2 prizes?
He
Is that
gets
how-
2 prizes automatically.
And what we're gonna do is we're gonna ship them separately. We're gonna have a normal, functional human being send one and Nick the other, and we'll see what gets there first.
Actually, I'm gonna
even
get
a
a prize to
competition?
start walking.
He's gonna walk.
I can beat Nick's prizes there.
Well, thank you very much, Andrew, for playing the map game.
And we're getting the rest of
Thank you
those
for having me.
marathon prizes out, so don't worry, you'll have it soon.
I'm happy to announce every single marathon prize is out.
Oh, okay. So you did the last one this week?
Yep.
Okay, so there you go.
Some WIGS members will be receiving theirs soon.
There you go.
As well. There it's all. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We got one
I
more
am
player
there.
on the line.
One more
Nick.
player on the line, our last
Okay.
player. Who do we have?
Nick.
This is Nick.
Oh, Nick. We got another Nick.
Yeah.
Nick, where are you?
Hello.
Nick on the phone. Where are you from?
Are you a Patriots fan too?
This is North Carolina, Nick. I actually used to be on this show about years ago, so this is actually pretty cool.
Is this Nick McLam?
This is Nick
Oh,
McLeod.
Nick, how are you?
Good, guys. How are y'all?
Good, good, good. All right. So you're our last contestant. You know how the game is played. Why don't you go ahead and fire away with those coordinates?
I was doing pretty good until I called on the phone, and now I can't see my map. So.
Oh, we've put it back up
has
now.
D7 been taken yet?
D7? Is D7 gone?
D7
it
is
is not
there,
gone.
and it's an
D7.
instant.
Oh, B. He wanted B7.
Oh,
No,
you got it.
No,
It's,
no,
too late.
I meant that
it's
one.
too late. Instant win.
You got an instant win anyway. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, okay.
Good
All
guessing.
But you still got to pick.
Has,
You hit all the
yeah,
microphones.
has D3 been taken yet?
Say that one more time.
What?
D3, as in like Durham or D3.
Boy.
B as in boy.
No, I think you said
D.
D3.
D3. We do not have D3. There you go.
That is 7. 7
Seven.
boys
Seven.
and girls.
Wow, way to go, Nick.
7.
Yeah,
Yes,
7.
7.
All right, one more.
You're good at this.
E3.
I don't know what E. E is in Eric.
E is
as
an
in-
Epcot.
E is in
E as in
Epcot.
Epcot, and
That's
then
3 more fanboys and girls that you saved. That's 10 total. You're going to get a second prize for going over the 7 mark.
There you go. So 2 prizes coming your way, Nick. Thanks for calling.
Yay!
Thanks, guys. You guys are the best. Thank you so
Oh,
much.
you are. Thank you for calling. We appreciate it.
Oh, we are.
No, you are, but what am I?
No, we are. You're the worst.
spoken like a true Patriots fan.
Oh, nice! Nice!
All right. So we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we have hour 2. I'm going to write some thank you notes, and we're going to have a discussion about the parks, as we always do, I guess. So stay tuned for more tonight. Hi, I'm Tom Corliss. You might remember me as the founder of WDW News Today, host of this show. I think I've been on Park Center and News Today with WDW News Today. Recently, I launched a running list of maintenance issues at Walt Disney World. People thought I was crazy. People thought it was just pointless complaining. People also thought Brer Bear never had a tail. Well, now I'm ready to share my methods with you. I call it Corliss. Do you have a dishwasher that's always backing up? Leaky pipes? Are your audio animatronics missing tails? Now with the power of Corliss, I will make all of the issues with your home, and someone without acknowledging that I said anything will secretly fix your issues without any hype. And we promise results.
My refrigerator died, so I used Corliss to call out its shortcomings, and within days it was fixed. And full of bear tails.
My husband promised to paint the house months ago, so I used Corliss. And when I woke up the next day, my house was covered in bear tails.
I needed to take my dog to the vet to get fixed, but I could never find the time. But after using Corliss once, my dog would never procreate again. And for some reason, it had a second tail.
It's all possible with the power of Corliss. Have all your noticeable and unnoticeable problems replaced today without fail. Why would I say tail brayer? There.
Corliss services available to book at WDWNT.com. Does not work for those on a media list or who are hashtag hosted.
While you're enjoying the program you're listening to or watching right now, did you know that WDWNT.com has even more original programs you could be enjoying? Like
Dreamfinders is WDW News Today's podcast all about the creative culture surrounding Disney parks. Curious what it's like to read poetry about the Haunted Mansion? Well, we've talked to someone who has. How about what it takes to actually build a Disney castle? We've chatted with a guy who did just that. Authors, Imagineers, dancers, actors, photographers, filmmakers, and a whole lot more have all stopped by to chat about how Disney has inspired their artistic work. Dreamfinders. Episodes drop every other Tuesday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcatcher.
4 panelists, 30 minutes, 1 week in Disney Parks news. This is Parks Center. On Parks Center, the panel and I cover the top 7...
7?
Yeah, 7 Disney park stories of the past week. From attraction news to transportation scandals to new food and merchandise, we'll cover it all in 30 minutes or less. You can watch us stream live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. at WDWNtunes.com, watch episodes on demand at youtube.com/WDWNT, or subscribe to the audio version of the show on your favorite podcast app.
Ride Rehab is the podcast of ridiculously reskinning, refurbishing, and even removing Disney attractions, shows, areas, and parks. Can we cram Star Wars or Marvel into anything else? Just listen and find out. Visit riderehab.com to start listening now. That's riderehab.com.
WDWNT Nerd Alert is the podcast that encompasses all things Marvel and Star Wars in a fun and entertaining format. On each episode, we take a look at the latest news, provide reviews for the latest feature films, inform you about what is going on in the comic book world, and discuss and debate original topics pertaining to the worlds of Marvel, Star Wars, and beyond. Find us on various podcast applications by searching for WDWNT Nerd Alert.
The WDW News Today podcast is the one that started them all. Join us for comprehensive history segments, heated debates, epic countdowns, and more from the Disney theme parks around the globe. Just search for WDW News Today in whatever podcast service you choose.
Last but certainly not least is WDWNT's premiere show, WDW News Tonight. Join us every Thursday night at 9 p.m. for a live, weekly audio and video show that combines the latest headlines, comedy, trending vacation topics, call-in games, and in-depth discussions to bring Disney fans a one-of-a-kind 2-hour program covering the Disney parks. If you can't catch the show live, you can always watch it later on YouTube or listen to it through your desired podcast service.
Get more info on all of these shows and more online at WDWNT.com, the worldwide leader in Disney parks news and entertainment. Welcome back to WDW News Tonight. We're live on YouTube, WWNtunes.com, Twitter, and Facebook. Thank you for joining us wherever you're joining us from out there. We are back next week. Oh boy, it's that time of the year once again. Next week is WWNT, the dating game.
Love is in the air.
I know usually by now we have the form ready. We don't. We didn't get the form ready, right?
It's
No.
not live
yet.
right now.
So tomorrow?
It'll be up tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning we're gonna have the form up. So here's what's happening with the dating game this year. Michelle is available, and so Michelle has volunteered.
Wait, I didn't know that. Whoa. Hi.
Nick is not, by the way.
Yeah, you're taken. What are you talking about?
Anyway, Michelle is available, so she has volunteered to be our lovely bachelorette next week. And
How can
so,
you resist all these men in this room, though, every week? Like, how do you do it?
I mean, come on, look at these shirts. Look at these shirts.
They're got logos.
I have Trader Sam's mug.
Yeah.
You can see Cameron's nipples. You also spilled the water.
Look at the stain on there. I don't know how I resist you guys.
Even turned.
He made me give him hot water just so the cup would change to the it's hot. Anyway, so what we're going to do next week, tomorrow we will open the applications. We're looking for 3 eligible male bachelors for next week. And so if you are a male in the Orlando-ish area, I think that's usually what we do, right?
Yep.
How eligible?
What does that mean?
Is that Pete? Of course it's Pete.
Yeah,
I don't have to ask. I know it's Pete.
Is that evil Pete or is that non-evil Pete?
It's Pete's liver talking.
Evil Pete. Evil Pete. Evil Pete.
So yeah, there will be applications tomorrow, and we'll make that happen. And you can be on next week and compete to go on a all-expense-paid date with Michelle at a Disney restaurant. That's what we're doing next week. Also next week, Cornac the Magnificent. So make sure you Cornac is eligible, and we'll take 3 women in turbans that are oversized, and we'll try to find a date for Cornac the Magnificent next week. So make sure you tune in next week.
It's Wednesday.
Oh yeah,
Thursday.
thank you. I do have the date written here, but I didn't mention
Yeah.
it. Next week, we are not on Thursday because Thursday is Valentine's Day, and we decided a number of people are probably not going to be home anyway on Valentine's Day, and a number of us will be busy. So next week, there is no Park Center on Wednesday. Next week, we're taking their spot.
Are you busy on Valentine's Day?
Next week, we are
Kevin?
on.
I'm not.
Next week,
You're
we're
looking
on.
at him. He's just like Cameron.
Next week, we're on Wednesday night. Wednesday night, February 13th at 9 p.m. A special day for WDW News Tonight.
I guess Tom's getting busy.
Another.
Wait, what?
This was a family show. Now we're getting all Pixar over here. Another thing to note, and because Michelle's going to tell you all about it in a few seconds, for our WIGS members, number 1, there is a post show tonight, as there is every single week. And number 2, this week you guys are going to get 4 choices for March Madness. And every year we do a March Madness tournament of some Disney Parks related thing, and they battle it out. Last year was attractions. I believe we did attractions again last year. And they battle it out, and you can win prizes as part of the process. We are doing that again this year. You guys are going to get 4 choices, and whatever wins is going to be what's in the tournament this year. There'll be 4 different options. And you guys are in control of what are the things that are battling it out in the tournament this year.
It's like my favorite thing we do. I love
It
it.
is. It's particularly fun and kind of crazy.
So is that happening in the Weeks Post show tonight? The pick?
No, we're actually going to put it on Patreon for them,
okay.
so they can
All
actually go whenever they have a chance. Not just for the people who can make it to the post show night. It'll be a thing that they have a couple days to go on there and vote. But Michelle, please tell them all about the WDWNT Interglobe Society.
Well, support WDWNT and get early and exclusive access to content that you just can't find anywhere else, including exclusive WDW News Tonight post shows each and every week, starting at just $2 a month. For more information, go to patreon.com/WDWNT or visit WDWNT.com and click the Patreon link. Join the WIGS and help make WDWNT happen through Patreon.
Thank you, Michelle. When we come back, I've got to catch up on some thank you notes. Stick around.
So, can I buy you a drink?
I don't know. Wait. Are you wearing Splash Mountain water?
Do you like it?
Zippity-doo-dah.
From the company behind your favorite theme park scented candles comes a new brand of seduction. Buena Vista. For men. Our line of colognes work for every occasion. Wanting to rekindle an old flame? Spray on some burning of Rome. Wanting to make a statement at the club? Try Gorilla Falls Musk. It's your fast pass to pleasure.
Honey, are you ready to go?
1 second.
We're going to be late if we don't. Is that the smell of the load platform from Dinosaur?
Maybe.
I'm canceling our reservation.
Why is that?
Because we're not gonna make it.
Buena Vista. For men. Smell the way Walt would have wanted.
Welcome back to WDW News Tonight. You know, it has been a crazy week. We're posting like 15 to 20 stories a day on the site. I don't have a moment to breathe anymore. So I've just let a whole bunch of things slip through the cracks. I know we've got a little time here, so I was wondering if it'd be okay if I write out some thank you notes. I like to write people thank you notes, just the kind of guy I am.
That's nice
Yeah,
of you.
I know I have this reputation as such a nice guy in the Disney online community. So,
You know, you really do.
Yeah. So I'm going to write out some thank you notes if that's all right with everybody.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, Filthy Screen on Soren, for finally getting Disney to screen a dirty movie. They're real tiny.
They are very tiny.
This is from Nick's. This is from Nick's tiny store.
Tiny, tiny.
I really hope my microphone is on.
It is.
Yeah.
Excellent. Go on.
Why is everybody involved in my thank you notes?
This is Tom's time,
this is
people.
great. Go on.
Everybody's got to get involved in my lists. Let me list. Anyway. Thank you, former Journey lead vocalist Steve O'Gary, for bringing at least one former Journey lead back to Epcot.
Your face is priceless.
No, it's Corliss, dear.
Oh, my bad.
This is the only segment where you get the audio cues right, I swear.
I'm so good at this one.
Thank you, Muppets, for being the only Disney puppets we like to hear from on Twitter.
Oh.
Boo.
Pete, you want me to read the jokes you pitched for this week on the air? You want me to?
First of all, none of these, I don't do any thank you notes, but I've loved the first two.
Well, thank you for the live feedback. It's appreciated. Thank you.
You get real laughter here. This is real laughs.
Okay. I lost my place. Thank you, unair-conditioned Skyliner, for being a quick way to lose weight before overindulging at Epcot.
I like that.
That's all that matters. Thank you, Epcot Festivals, for being a quick way to get that weight back. There's only several. It'll be okay. I'll just fast between that 30 days between. It'll be all right.
Hi. You spoke too soon. I'm all flustered.
Thank you, It's a Small World merchandise, because nothing says world peace like two fighting over the last goodbye tank top.
Did that happen?
People. I don't know. I've listed it. It must be true. Thank you, Spirit jerseys with hoods and pockets, for introducing millennials to sweatshirts.
I got that one.
It's good they know. It's a very useful garment. Oh boy. Thank you, New Walk-Up Bar at Tangaroa Terrace, for offering a place to drink when you inevitably can't get 2 steps into Trader Sam's. This is a real one. It's a legit thank you note. Thank you, Casey's Corner Hot Dog of the Month, for being a great source of protein and 100% of your daily amount of crazy. They can't all be good. Don't worry, Cornac next week. It'll be all right. Vincent Bryson? Thank you, Kahlua-style poutine, for bringing us tastes from the far-off exotic regions of Canada. The tropical island of Alberta. I forget. Yeah. 3 islands. There's Calgary, Alberta, and Canada. It's 3 different islands. And they all have the Eiffel Tower. So
tropical.
Just write your thank you notes.
And back to the notes.
Yep. All right, I have one more I need
One
to
more?
write. Thank you, Footlong Corn Dogs, for writing our jokes this week. Those are the notes. Michelle, who brought us this one lovely segment?
I wish I knew.
It's right after the segment.
No, we moved them all around.
I think it's one of the guides that we brought out.
Oh, hey!
Something
Wow.
I have my paper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here you go.
You know the guide.
Ah, well,
Yeah.
all right. Let me tell you a little bit about the first annual guide to the Epcot International Festival
No,
of
I
the
wrote
Arts.
something special at the top. You should read it.
We're thankful for.
Yeah, because it was thank you.
Oh, I
notes.
get
Yeah.
it.
Oh!
You know what we're thankful for, Tom?
Oh.
Okay, good.
Sorry, let's pretend that didn't happen.
Wanna write
Hey,
the last
Tom, you
thank
know
you
what
note
we're
again?
thankful for?
What, Michelle?
We're thankful for WDWNT's first annual guide to the Epcot International Festival of the Arts. The Epcot International Festival of the Arts at the Walt Disney World Resort celebrates visual, culinary, and performing arts through a series of craft seminars, food booths, and nightly concerts. With so much going on, it can be overwhelming, even for festival veterans. That's where our guide comes in. Sure, you can pick up a festival passport when you arrive at Epcot, but you'll get the most out of the event when you plan ahead. We offer our guide for free because we don't believe in making you pay for information you can find online. And we know a trip to the festival can be expensive enough as it is. Our guide doesn't just offer menus and pretty photos. We rate every food item and specialty drink at every booth. Plus, you can find full reviews of every food item at the festival on our website. And if you're in a hurry, our guide includes symbols to let you easily see what's new, what's good, what's bad, and our pick for the best item at each booth. Plus, we plan to update this guide every week throughout the festival, and we'll let you know when we've published an update so you can always get the most up-to-date version, all at no cost to you. To get your free PDF guide, just go to www.nt.art.
Thank you,
That's the part I
Michelle.
messed up last week.
Yeah,
It's free?
that was the thing. It's absolutely free, Pete. That's right.
That's
There you
crazy.
go.
I
All
would
right,
pay
folks.
for it.
We're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we have our in-depth discussion tonight.
I really like this Figment print. I think it's from a Walt Disney original.
Yeah, the colors are really pretty.
The colors are pretty.
Well, yeah. I'm no art critic.
You mean you're not yet.
Who are you?
I'm Patrick Hackett, and you may remember me from Patrick Hackett's ADR service or Patrick Hackett's piggyback rides. When I realized Disney was charging for absurd upcharge events, I wanted in on that action. So I'm here to tell you about Patrick Hackett's School of Art Criticism. Just give me $1,200 and I'll have you sounding like the snobbiest Parisian stereotype imaginable. For instance, how would you describe this piece?
It's Figment as the Mona Lisa.
Oh no, my friend. It's a playful take on La Gioconda that contrasts the realism and muted colors common in mid to late Renaissance portraits with the sublime playfulness of the illustrated style pioneered in the later part of the 20th century.
You really didn't say anything.
Exactly. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. You know, like a Tom Corliss tweet. Take a look over here. The color attempts to blend into the surrounding aesthetic, but stands out on its own, drawing the eye away from the elements the artist truly wishes to highlight.
That's the building for the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster.
You don't have to sound like an art snob about just art. In fact, a Disney fan could be snobby about anything. See that guest over there? Critique his choice of wearing socks with sandals.
Okay, I'll give it a shot. The combination of hosiery and espadrilles is reminiscent of a continental traveler and complements the primary colors of the rest of the vesture.
Excellent! You're now the most educated mind at the Epcot International Festival of the Arts. That'll be $1,200.
Wait a minute, I didn't agree to pay you.
Don't worry, I take Magic Band payment, and I'll only charge you $100 more than the actual balance.
Patrick Hackett School of Art Criticism. We put the pomp in pompous.
Side effects may include not making friends, losing existing friends, thinking a lack of maintenance at Disney World is acceptable, and being punched in the face.
From the Patrick Hackett family of products, like Bob Chapek, we'll get your $1,200.
Does anyone ever count how many Bob Chapek jokes we make other than Bob Chapek? I don't know.
We should have a little...
There should be a counter?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that. That and a stapler.
Please.
Cameron.
You would make Cameron's
So for
night.
those
We should have a
little
little
insight
robot
into
that
the show.
counts for us.
So I have the teleprompter now. So I do the monologue off the teleprompter. The rest of the show is on script because I don't think the teleprompter really helps because a lot of it's just little notes and then I just make up the rest kind of. But then the rest, so we got all these papers, and then everyone complains every week because the papers get out of order, and Cameron's been yelling at me that we need a stapler.
We just need a stapler, that is all.
Have you seen my stapler?
We've hit our budget,
Is it a
though,
red
like
stapler?
Disney. Like, we've hit the budget.
We
and
throw these on
can't-
the floor
This is the Toy
when we're
Story
done with
Land. This
them.
is the shade in Toy Story Land. I can't afford the stapler.
We should also number the pages. That would help.
Hey, Cameron.
One step ahead of you, brother.
I'm here.
I'm not going to manually number the pages.
You have to. We don't have the budget for it.
We spent it all on hot dogs. The hot dog budget is insane. All right, anyway, it is time for our in-depth discussion. A reminder that this is an interesting topic, so we want people to call in and voice your opinions at home. What's the number, Michelle, they can call?
832-7 WDWNT 7.
And once more without the jokes.
832-7 WDWNT 7.
Seven's not a joke.
I think you'll want to call. No, it certainly isn't. I think you'll want to call in for this one. This week's discussion struck me while we were reviewing, and I got to write this tomorrow. I haven't done it yet. But we went to review the slightly revamped Early Morning Magic at Disney's Hollywood Studios. And it struck me, we were standing there in line for Woody and Jesse, their meet and greet, and suddenly here comes the whole rope drop crowd into Toy Story Land. And it just looked like the most miserable group of people.
I watched that video.
Yeah, it looked like the most miserable group of people. And so and we talk about this a lot, but I don't know. We may have done this as an in-depth discussion a couple years ago on this show, but I think a lot has changed even since then. So I wanted to bring up the discussion again of, are the Disney parks still an enjoyable experience for everyone? And so joining us for the discussion, other than the people that are here in the room with me, we have Pete. Is Pete there?
Oh, people are asking what happened.
Steve Arco,
Steve
my
Arco,
man, I'm
Pete.
right here.
All right,
Let's
Ashley.
go.
Ashley Spedding? Or not Spedding,
Hello?
that's a different Ashley.
No, what?
I know a lot of Ashleys. Sorry, wrong Ashley.
Wow.
Moving on. Wow, that was a slip.
That was
a Nick level slip.
Yikes.
Man, wow.
Oh. Can we just talk about how Ashley is up to her game? She's got a shirt. She's got that backdrop.
Wow.
Ashley is.
I know.
I know. Ashley's wearing the best shirt ever. I hung out with Ashley.
Yes,
today
I am.
with my
Ashley
man, Tom.
Jasmer.
There it
you.
is.
I don't know where my brain is. David Smith, that's the right last name, I think.
Thanks for remembering me.
Yeah. I don't know any more Davids. I don't know another David. Jason is with us as he always is, and Patrick is still with us as well. Somewhere. There's
Hey.
All right. So I want to talk about this. Talk about crowds and prices and customer service all over the board. I don't even know where anybody wants to begin. I'll leave it to the panel if someone wants to jump in. Is it still an enjoyable experience for everyone? Do you think the only way to enjoy the parks are these add-on events? Has it gotten to that point? Is everyone still enjoying their vacations? Or those of you who aren't local, I feel like it's probably better asked to you at this point.
This is an interesting question. Because when I first started going to Walt Disney World on my own, as opposed to with my parents, it was in the early 2000s, and the crowds were non-existent. So I was the typical type of person that would try to get done as much as I possibly could. And that worked out pretty well for those, 6 or 7 years in the early 2000s before crowds started to pick up again. I feel like if I was going to do that today, I'd be miserable. I think that with the crowds and the lines, you just can't go into a Walt Disney World vacation and expect to get a lot done, or you're going to have a miserable time. I think if you take your time, you sort of go with the flow, you take breaks, it ends up being a more enjoyable trip, although you get less attractions done, but that's the trade-off.
That's completely right. I mean, as someone who's got a lot, skipping whole attractions or even skipping whole sections of parks, or potentially even skipping a whole park, is not a big deal anymore. But that's what I worry about, is for those guests that are on, once every decade or once every 5 years, it's got to be really tough because you are going to miss so much just because of the crowd levels. Between the increased crowds and the reduction in available attractions, it's so difficult to get through everything. Even if you're there a full week, I'm not sure you're going to hit every attraction that you really would want to. So you have to really temper your expectations and think about what are your priorities, focus on those, and then be willing to relax at the other times, because you're not going to go commando in the parks anymore.
I think you guys are spot on.
I was waiting for Pete to say something about going.
I'm not quite sure. I don't know what that means, Dave.
No. Let Patrick talk, and I will speak. Go on.
When you have these people in there with the most expensive day ever shirts, people who aren't doing their research and who feel that they need to justify this investment on a vacation, they're going to be miserable. They set out to be miserable by buying that shirt, by complaining every time they're paying for this vacation. It's those of us who are DVC members or who are local, who know that we can go to the park pretty much whenever we want, that aren't going to need to rush into doing anything. We can wait and take our time. I didn't go into Pandora the first 2 visits I was there because I couldn't get a fast pass and I didn't want to experience the land without the attraction. So I just waited until I could get a fast pass and was ready to go. I think it's your mindset going in, and I think it's your knowledge that you're coming back that helps you really have a good time.
I think that's a really good.
No, go on, Ashley.
Sorry. Go ahead, Pete. No, go ahead. You.
No, you go first. Please. No.
Okay.
You've worked
I was just
at Walt Disney World. Go on.
I was just gonna say, I think Patrick said it best about expectations. If you set yourself up and think, you're one of the people, you print out the agenda and you have this checklist and you're going to do everything and you're going to push the kids to the point of exhaustion because you have to get it all done and you micromanage the trip, I think regardless of anything else, you're setting yourself up for that. Crowds, everything aside, it's not possible, really. I mean, with the amount of stuff there is to do. I lived down there for 9 months. There was still, 6 months. There was still stuff I didn't get to do. I mean, but if you go in with that expectation of we're going to explore, we're going to have a good time and just, kind of do what we want to do, I think that's really it. I think you have to go in with the right mindset. You can't go in expecting to do everything. And I don't mean that you can't do what you want, but you're not going to ride every single attraction at Magic Kingdom in a day. It's not going to happen. There's too many of them.
Yeah, well, I think you at least
maybe if you go from park open to park close, you could, But you're going to be exhausted. You're going to have a terrible time at the end of the day.
Expectations for the amount of time you're going and who you're going with.
Right. Yeah, you've got to...
Yeah, because like when I go somewhere for the first time, I generally do more days. Because I don't want to ride. Like Tokyo and Paris, I did what I thought was overkill days because I wanted to walk around and do things at an enjoyable pace.
Yeah,
Listen,
but I mean, you see those people...
I want like 2 minutes here.
All right, go ahead. I have one more point. And it's just you see all those people with the kids that are so exhausted and falling out, and I feel so bad for them every time because the parents are pushing them too hard, and the kid has hit the wall, and they're done, and now everybody's having a bad time.
Yeah, just go back to
that
the
was
resort,
I'm sorry.
take a nap,
Go ahead, Pete.
then come back.
Of course. So, all right. So there's so many ways to plan your Disney vacation. And it's so exciting that you're there, and there's so many things to see and do and everything else. So listen, if you want to commit the time and the energy to do things right, you're going to rope drop. You're going to do things right away. 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to do your fast passes 1, 2, 3. And you're going to get out. You're going to be done by noon. That is the way to do Disney. Now, I know, and I've done it with...
Well, you're talking about Hollywood Studios, right? If you're going to be done by noon. I mean...
No, it's any part.
You're going to finish
Honestly,
Magic Kingdom by noon.
You're going to do your first half.
No way.
Yes, you are. What you're going to do is you're going to do 3 attractions.
I wish I had Josh.
Before you use your fast passes that were 9, 10, and 11.
I miss you, Josh.
Now, Josh is here, but listen. You are going to use those fast passes. All right. We're going way far off track. Here's the deal, is that if you plan correctly, which a lot of families do not do, so let's just say you have Magic Kingdom, right? It's the best part to go to. You do not want to put your fast passes in your first part of your plan. Granted, they're 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and 11 o'clock. You want to go on at least 2 rides before at least 9:45.
Why can't I have a 9 o'clock fast?
You can, but you're going to go on that fast pass at 9:55.
Why do I have to use it directly at 9 o'clock?
You're never going to do that.
Why can't I rope drop a ride and then go to the fast pass?
You can. You're going to rope drop.
That's what he's saying.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
That wasn't clear.
I'm saying that you do your 3 fast passes. Your 9, you ride at 10. Your 10, you ride at 11. And your 11, you ride at 12. And you're going to have a great time. You're going to ride 7 amazing rides in your first 3 hours in Magic Kingdom. And in other parks, it's totally different. But anyway, we can have an hour on this. But anyway,
what is an in-depth discussion so we do have time?
Confuse me. Tom, you know.
It sounded like you were saying not to get your fast passes at 9, 10, and 11.
No,
That's
I said you want to ride your fast passes at the last 5 or 10 minutes in the early morning. Going from there.
Well, life hack for you also. Your fast pass is good until 15 minutes after its expiration.
Of course, but I mean, I don't want. Listen, everyone there knows that, and you have a family, you have things going on, but don't plan on that. Try and get there at the end of your fast pass. It'll probably be 15 minutes late because you have kids and a family and everything going on. But yes, if you have a 9 to 10 a.m. fast pass, get there at 10 a.m. Ride at least 2 or 3 rides ahead of time. Do that. Go ride another ride somewhere that's use the app, and it's not great. And then go somewhere else. And then, honestly, by noon, in the Magic Kingdom, you should be able to do at least 8 rides that are great. That's it.
So I think you're absolutely right, Pete. I think if you go into the mindset of starting early and try to get as much as you can before the crowds get there, you're going to get a lot more done. The hours between 2 p.m. and, say, 5, 6 p.m. are probably the absolute worst times to be in a park. So if you can avoid those times, if at all possible, do it. Start early, get as much as you can, and get in. Now, what I think is you think about crowds, oftentimes we think about attractions and those wait times. I think what's more frustrating to guests is everything leading up to that. When we see the video of people rope dropping at Hollywood Studios, you got to remember that they have gone through the Disney transportation system, a large portion of them. And that could be extremely frustrating when you're at your resort hotel and you wait while bus after bus comes by. Usually you end up with 5 Animal Kingdom buses while you're going to Studios. And then when you finally get a Studios bus, it's already filled and you got to wait for the next one or even the one after that. That's what makes getting there so miserable and such a tough experience for guests. And that's why when they're rope dropping, it's not that easy.
Well, the rope drop.
And then on
process
top
is
of that,
terrible also.
you got to go through security.
Yes, I disagree. I
Right.
disagree.
So
if you really
if you're
love
rope
Disney,
dropping at 9 a.m.,
no, that's
you got to like
disagree.
leave your room at 6.
I hate lines.
Too many people talking.
All right, so I'll give you a quick hack, and this is just me, and you guys can talk forever. Is that I hate lines. I hate lines so much.
How much do you hate them?
Oh God, there are things I would do to just disregard lines.
Oh, I have an event for you.
You know you're
Pay $125.
Page 89. Here we go. But listen, honestly, I mean, I tell every family I plan Disney vacations every single week all the time. But listen,
That scares me.
here's what I say: is you can nap all afternoon, nap until your face falls off. But I want you to be awake.
I want to do that.
I
Every
napped so
single
hard.
day
My
until
face.
until your face falls off. Yes, but you need to be at rope drop every day because no one realizes that you can literally plan 3 fast passes that you don't even need because you do like 4, 5, 6, 7 rides every single rope drop before your fast passes in any park and kill it and be out of every park by noon.
What if the park
That
doesn't have 7 rides?
All right, so let me toss this out there. You guys,
You're right.
you guys, the question here was, is the experience still enjoyable? And we turned this into a travel planning thing, which
y'all.
isn't enjoyable for most families to probably try to cram all this stressful stuff into the first couple hours of their Magic Kingdom trip. I'm not discounting your travel guide, Pete, but this is I want to purchase this travel guide. Believe me.
No, I will say something. Let me say
But it's
something.
not enjoyable.
Nick makes a great point. Is it still enjoyable? If you're okay with like literally waking up early and power napping in the afternoon, it's totally enjoyable. And for me, I love going out. I mean, X Tom, X Ashley, X anyone. I go out for free. I love rope dropping because everything is empty, and then at noon I am
like
gone.
Commando.
Video from Hollywood Studios.
I have no idea what happens in the park.
It's like the Trojan horse had opened.
Yeah, why would you
I have
run
no
these
idea
things?
what happens.
Too much.
Is what I'm saying is, listen, I'm gonna give real advice. This is not a joke. I'm gonna be serious.
Get real, Pete. Get real.
Real advice, and I'm out. Is rope drop till noon and get out, and then do whatever you want to do. Hang at the pool, go take a nap, do whatever you want to do. Is it worth it? If you do that plan.
But I get that. That's a strategy. That's fine.
But see, Nick, that's what that's what he's getting at. Is that
it can be enjoyable if you do things in an enjoyable way.
Okay.
you gotta take breaks. And what Pete's telling you to do is how to take a break in the afternoon to get away from the crowds. That makes it a much more enjoyable day.
Okay.
Sure, the morning was stressful, but overall you're going to have time to relax.
Let me tell you what the Dippin' Dolls do. The Dippin' Dolls take a lot of breaks. I can tell you from going on vacation with the Dippin' Dolls. But that's because his kids hate Disney. They just want to go to Knott's Berry Farm. But yeah,
I feel that most families who plan do take those breaks. A lot of the ones that are stressful running around are the ones who aren't planning or are overwhelmed once they get
sometimes
there.
it's just hard to plan.
Okay.
There are things they can't get fast passes
Right.
for, like Flight of
Right.
Passage,
Right.
Slinky Dog. That's the stuff that the people are getting up at 6 a.m. and fighting a bus and fighting security and fighting rope drop to get in. And I watch these people. You have rope drop, and there are people in the midst of that rope drop that end up 45 minutes to an hour back in that line at Slinky Dog Dash. And at that point, you should just be coming back in the evening, but they don't know that. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, well, I think it's knowing your family too. And again, going back to setting the right expectation, if your family is not morning people, rope drop is not a good idea because you are not morning people.
Yeah.
Sleep in. Stay later at the park. You may not get everything right away, but stay later instead of taking.
Can I make
breaks
a
midday.
counterpoint? They're not
Sleep
open as
in.
late as they used to be.
That is also
Well,
that's the problem. They have cut hours.
I agree with Tom.
You used to be able to pop in
like,
that 3 a.m. extra magic hour, which I understand the 3 a.m. was too late, but a 1 or 2 a.m. doesn't happen anymore either. So you have
Yeah,
less
I mean, that's
hours.
hard.
You're
That's a
getting
good
packed
point.
in no matter what.
But sorry,
And
I did
that's
have
where
one
I
other
tell
point. We
people
do
is
have
that,
a
like,
caller
even if
who's
you're
been
not-
waiting on
I'm not a
hold
morning
for a little
person.
bit.
Peach is yelling at everybody.
Sorry, I'm just
Sorry
saying.
to
I'm
cut
not
you
a
off,
morning
but we
person.
do
Ashley,
have,
please go ahead.
we have a caller
I
that has
hate
been
mornings.
waiting
I hate
less
Oh, we
than
have a
for
caller.
a while.
Everybody
Oh,
stop.
yeah, we have a
That's
caller.
what I'm trying to tell
Everybody
everybody.
stop.
After
Caller.
my super quick
Put
point.
Pete on
So
mute.
Jonathan from Tennessee would like to help us.
Do we have Jonathan?
Jonathan?
Hello?
Did he stay on the line?
Hello?
Well, while we wait for Jonathan, I was going to say this.
Oh,
I hate
I think he's
mornings
here.
so
Wait,
much,
hold on.
and
Hello.
Hey,
Hey,
Jonathan.
you guys hear me?
Yep.
Hey guys. This is a different perspective about this topic. Is a couple of months ago, I'm a teacher, and I went to Disney World with our high school basketball teams. And large group travel is much more difficult now than it was 2, 4, 6, 8 years ago. The kids, they don't understand the fast pass system. They have to register themselves, and it's very complicated. So nobody ends up with fast passes, and you have to wait in long lines for everything. And large group travel it's not something that a lot of us do, but it is a big part of Disney's business, and it is much more difficult now than it used to be.
Yeah, that's true. You can't get fast passes for anything for that many people.
Nothing.
You
It doesn't
barely
work that
sound
way, yeah.
Brazilian.
Yeah, and I guess
had
that's why a lot of those
Carl-
tour groups were cheating, or we say cheating the system with what they were doing, that pre-booking the stuff on like dead accounts, essentially. When that used to be a thing, but legitimately that was the only way they were getting fast passes done, so it was somewhat understandable. But you're right. Yeah, I don't know how those people do it.
Well, we just wait in lines for everything. And like you said, I was also going to mention the park hours. You know, used to, we would be in the Magic Kingdom till 3 a.m. A bunch of high schoolers, you know, it wasn't a problem. We'd have fun and with extra magic hours. And now we were there till 9, 10 p.m. and the park was closing. And it just made it a much more difficult trip, to be honest with you.
Where are you from? Where are you from?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. And how often do you visit the parks?
2 or 3 times a year.
Oh, okay, so you're here pretty often. So
Yeah,
let me
but
ask
he's
you a
just
question.
saying
How-
from his group trip how hard it is.
How often do you come with a group, and how big is your group? I'm curious. Let's really dissect it.
There's about 60, 70 of us, and it's about every 2 years the basketball teams go. So I go because I'm
Okay, so
familiar
you-
with it and I know the kids. So
I got
sort of try to
you.
show
Yeah,
them
so you
around the
come-
best I can, but it's very difficult.
All right, so you personally come like 2 to 3 times a year, but your group comes once every 3 or 4 years, so around 70 people. Is that right? Am I hearing you right?
Every 2 years.
Yeah, about once every 2 years.
Once every 2 years.
Pete's a
All right, so here's the
professional
deal.
interviewer, by the way, everybody.
Okay. No, I wanna
Oh wait, Pete's gonna solve this. What you do is everybody gets a 9 o'clock, a 10 o'clock, and 11 o'clock fast pass. And you don't go to them till 10, 11, and 12. Anyway.
So we've been keeping going around in circles and trying to find really good ways to plan. And someone in the chat made a great point, and I think it was the point that Nick was making.
Yes.
I think it was Carl in the YouTube chat, that people, it's so militant. You have to be there 6 months on the dot, and there's people that's not enjoyable for. Me, I love it. I love talking about where we're going to eat, what we're going to ride. I enjoy that. But for some people who just want to have a relaxing vacation, being on your computer at 6 a.m., 60 days, 90 days out, that's not fun. That's not enjoyable.
It's a shame because as a local, what has been amazing is I think we were all so afraid of the ability to be spontaneous. And there are some things where you can't be. But for the most part, I find as someone who can go as a local, I love the surprise of opening the app and not knowing what's going to pop up, whether it be fast passes or dining reservations.
Yeah.
Because then it especially on like a Saturday night, if the two of us are looking to do something, be like, oh, we should look what reservations are available. And sometimes like just random things pop up that we either can never see or I like that part of it. I don't know if I was on vacation, I mean, that's kind of how I was back then anyway, when I was starting to come more frequently, but I was like Patrick when I was only coming once every like 4 or 5 months. I was doing the whole, up on the phone, however many days in advance and all that crazy stuff back then. You didn't book fast passes online.
So has the increased prices increased the amount of like stress that is on the family to do as much as they can? Is that a thing? Okay, there's a correlation
the more you
there,
spend,
right?
the more you feel like you have to extract out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
and not waste time.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, so I mean, we almost answered the question by talking all these strategies to get around it. I mean, the answer
But
is
the money
possibly
should
it's less enjoyable.
It should, if it's going to be quote unquote overpriced, then there should be less people, and then I should be paying for an experience where I'm not fighting a million people for $125 a day, and that's the problem. Is we're paying more for a lessened experience now, and that's my whole thought process on it. I'm not saying stop going to Disney parks. And I'm not saying I don't enjoy going to Disney. I still love going every day. Do I find things that upset me? Sure. Do I not want to come? No. I mean, I think a lot of people misconstrue a lot of the things I say in that way as if I'm looking for negative things or it's completely unenjoyable. It's not completely unenjoyable, but there are definitely things that make it less enjoyable than it was.
Has FastPass Plus done a good job in helping that to
I
let
think if
people
we
plan?
didn't have FastPass Plus, things would be worse.
Yeah.
I think paper FastPass
would be insane.
I can say Tom has gotten much better.
But let's look at it.
I
If I
am
can-
Captain Positivity.
If I can give you an example,
No, go on.
Tokyo.
Tell your point. I want to defend you, but go on.
Tokyo's still doing paper fast passes, so I got to go back in time and do paper fast passes. We also happen to be there on like one of the busiest days of the year. That is horrible because all of the fast passes run out by a certain time. It's less fast pass attractions, so you end up by midday there's nothing left to get a fast pass for. So the rest of the evening you're going to have to wait hours to do any headliner. And that's how it was here too. Remember, Soarin' and Toy Story Mania were gone by noon every day.
Right.
So I mean, is it worse? I don't think the FastPass system is worse. I think they doubled FastPass capacity. They added way more FastPass attractions, but crowd levels keep rising, so it doesn't matter. It's still like everything's still swamped or hard to book.
I think the question.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say the question to ask is not does FastPass Plus is that better or worse than FastPass? It's is FastPass better or worse than not FastPass?
Well, I wasn't asking is it better or worse. I was asking if it helped to make it enjoyable.
I think it does. I hate the running.
Right, and I think it does. But then it's
so.
counteracted by the high crowd level. So like Tom said, it almost doesn't matter in the end.
They kind of equal each other.
But I
out.
remember that Toy Story Mania FastPass run. That wasn't
Yeah.
enjoyable either.
Well, I mean, it does matter because it'd be even worse. So, yeah.
Hey,
I mean,
Tom,
even though the
we have
flag-
another caller.
Oh, we have another caller. Let's take this call. Who do we have?
Megan.
We have Megan.
Hi,
Hi, Megan. Where are you calling in from?
Hey.
Illinois.
Illinois. All right, Megan.
I mean, kind of going off of what you said about with the whole, like checking the app and seeing what's available for the spontaneity. I think that's helped because I've been coming to the park since I was like 3, and just seeing how that's changed in about like 20 years is crazy. It was a crowd level and planning because I remember doing all the paper fast passes and trying to schedule when they switched over to the MDE. But the spontaneity, I think, has definitely helped because I know when I lived down there for a little bit, I would just check and see what was even available, and then I would just run as soon as I could into the park to do it. So I think that's definitely helped a little, but I mean, it sucks because everything has changed because of crowd control and trying to like mitigate who can have fast passes for what time, and then maybe, you know, like certain fast passes open up here, and then maybe you want to wait in line here for this, or just totally skip that. And I think it's changed the whole experience of just going to the parks.
Do you think for the better or for the worse?
I think yes and no, better and worse, because if you're not a planner, it's going to be worse for you. Because, I mean, like, you could try to schedule your fast passes kind of like what Pete was saying, and, you know, like maximizing your time. that if you're just trying to go with the flow and you're like, oh, I'll just get my fast passes day of, you're not going to have that availability unless, oh, a flight of passage just opened up and you're going to try to make it over there in time. So I think it depends on the person who's going, but I mean, it can definitely deter, like, make or break your trip.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree with that.
Great call.
Thank you, Pete.
Thank you, Pete, as always. You remind me of another thing, though. I think one thing that is more enjoyable, I think, is since touring plans is so inaccurate. The nice thing is if I open the app like the day before, and this actually just happened. If we open the app the day before and I look at Animal Kingdom and I'm like, oh, there's nothing available, that will stop us from going to Animal Kingdom. We'll be like, well, obviously it's going to be crowded. There is nothing available. I can't even get Primeval Whirl. I'm not going to Animal Kingdom. Let's go somewhere else. And so I do think that's more enjoyable. The fact that I kind of have a gauge of the crowd levels. If I'm booking only a couple days in advance, then at least I know what I'm getting into.
Can we recap that just for anyone? No, that's actually a major hint. I think anyone knows if you're local. Like, granted, if you're planning a Disney vacation, you want 60 or 30. But if you're there in the parks, like Tom just gave you a major hint. When you see Primeval World not available, you know, don't go to Animal Kingdom that day. That's crazy. Like, that's insane.
Make like the dinosaurs on the facade and run.
Yeah, but you can do that in any park. Like, pick a ride that's always available. And if that ride is not available, that's a major hint. Like, this is a major hack. I mean, we're not talking about traveling. Should we be talking about traveling? I don't know. But it's a major hack.
So we're running out of time. I want to quickly get around to some panelists who we haven't heard from in a bit. I know David and a couple other people are trying to make some final points. So let's go around quick, make some final points.
So I was just going to say, one of the advantages that I appreciate about FastPass Plus is the ability to go into a park with a sense of what your day is going to look like in terms of where you need to be and what you're going to be doing. I think with paper fast passes, what I hated was when you had one, you got one available and it was right smack in the middle of a scheduled meal, reservation that you had, and then you kind of had to make a choice. So at least going into the park with that, but it does make planning that much more difficult. And as someone who at least used to like to go to the parks and just kind of wander and go on what was available and, and just kind of take it slow. That's been difficult.
Like Pete difficult.
Oh, go on. I'm saying, like, don't say it's difficult to go to the parks. We love the parks. Go on. Don't say you'd love to go to the parks. Come on. I know you love it, David. Come on.
David, you love it.
You love it, David.
It's not a question. David,
you know you love it.
You love it. David.
Well, we haven't heard it all from Michelle or Cameron. I mean, you guys are locals who don't go. Well, Cameron, you go a lot now for work.
Once or twice.
Yeah. But as people who generally go less frequently as locals, is it less enjoyable now for you, or is it still the same?
For me personally, if you're asking my personal opinion, it's repetitive at this point.
Yeah?
Yeah. So as somebody who goes, like, very often...
But before you were going several times a week to look at construction walls.
Yeah. Yeah, the crowds drew me away. The crowds from any theme park drew me away.
Well, no one likes crowds.
Well, it's definitely less enjoyable, I would say, now, especially when I used to love this time of year in the parks, and now Run Disney has sort of taken over all of the downtime that we used to have.
It's been swamped even outside of that, though. Like, we have not... I haven't been there a day since the new year went, where, other than that rainy Sunday at Epcot, that was it. I have not seen an empty day.
And I used to like going later at night when it was cooler and you could just kind of chill out and there'd be less people there and you're not in a hurry.
You probably can't even make it after work
I can't.
most days. Yeah, that's what I mean about the hours.
So, honestly, to answer it, because I haven't actually answered the question, I go less now, and a lot of it is because of the crowds.
That's the main point for me as well. It's the crowds.
I feel more crowded. There's no space. We used to have times of the year where we knew their space as a local. So I'm talking just strictly from a local perspective here. Now I find myself going mostly to resorts and hanging out there, going to a lounge or something like that. Popping into a park just for shorter periods of time. I think that's the other thing. Shorter periods of time. And to like Michelle's point, like I used to go to the Magic Kingdom at night and like to hang out there at night.
Yeah.
And can't hang out there that late anymore. So
if I do go to the parks, I will only ride the rides that are like under 15-20 minutes.
Yeah.
I don't want to wait for any long rides anymore.
Well, we have that blessing as people who live close to. I think we're slightly spoiled in that you don't have to wait an hour for something because you know you'll come at some point and it won't be an hour.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, you'll come into some scenario where you don't have to wait. Obviously, people on vacation don't have that luxury.
It makes me think, like, should I, like, I'm moving down here in the next 4 months, so, I mean, I know it's overcrowded.
This is the
but,
one
like,
to be a local at, I think, for sure. I don't think I would want to live near any other Disney resort around the world. This is the one to be a local at, because it's, I don't know.
You have 4 parks.
It's the one that makes it interesting, and the resorts and stuff, you can mix it up. And even though there's old tourism, there's always something you can do to get away from everybody, as opposed to the other ones. Which I think, but the other ones are more enjoyable to go as a tourist. So I like going to Disneyland and even Paris and Tokyo because they're just more enjoyable. I think tourist experiences. I think it's less stressful at all 3 of those. But to the point. But we're already over time. Any other final points from the panel except Pete?
No, I want to speak.
Oh, no.
Forever. I want to talk. Actually, I'm out, but I'll be in. Listen.
Someone's been RPGing again.
I'm glad you gave us a 4-month warning that he's coming down here. We can prepare.
Next week, the studio will be rearranged to a new location outside of Orlando.
We're going to California, boys.
Don't worry, we can get there in only 3 days.
I will be in LA the 17th to 22nd, and that's it. And then that's all I have to say.
Go ahead, Pete.
Good night. No, he's done.
Okay.
Good night.
Someone else was trying to say something.
Yeah,
No?
go ahead,
Yeah,
Ashley.
Patrick, go.
No, I was just saying good night to Pete. Go ahead.
Good night, Pete.
Good night, Moon. Good night, Pete.
As much as it gets crowded at Walt Disney World, and it's really difficult, the other park across the way, where you can't plan out fast passes, that experience is even worse.
Yeah.
I have been there 3 or 4 times since Kong has opened, and I have not even attempted to ride it because the line's always long. Yeah. So
The only way to enjoy that is there be a resort guest there and get express. That's really it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Halloween Horror Nights is the most miserable experience.
I wanted to bring
I've
that
ever
up
had
as well.
Express, yeah.
I was going to the Halloween Horror Nights is as an event that I usually go to nightly, something that I did not go to almost at all last year because of crowds. Yeah.
I missed the Bill
And
and Ted show.
you don't have to pay for Fast Pass. As bad as it is, you don't have to pay for it.
That is the one thing I give Disney credit for is they've not charged people for fast passes. So I'd rather they do the add-on events than charge people for fast pass. I'm on board with that. All right, thank you, illustrious panel. Thank you, everyone who called in as well. That's going to do it for this week. We have a post show coming up, Wigs members, so stick around. And remember, kids, don't stop or don't be believing looks are deceiving. Good night.